Fire bad. Fire bad. This is Jackie.
You can't leave except by the means that we have left you conveniently. I'm Justin.
Killing is his business, and business is about to get kind of okay. I'm Sam, and this is 1994's No Escape on Stinker Madness.
Hello, and welcome to Stinker Madness, a podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers, by bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the show, currently streaming on Tubi TV from 1994, starring Ray Liotta, Lance Hendrickson, Ernie Hudson, some other character actors you've seen 1,000 times, called No Escape. Sam!
You forgot Kevin Dillon.
No, Kevin Dillon, sure. I said some people you've seen before, character actors.
Why is Kevin... I just burned my one question that I had for this movie. Why is Kevin Dillon on the poster? What was Kevin Dillon doing that they were like, we put Kevin Dillon on this poster and, you know, butts are going to get in seats?
Yeah, that's an odd one. Even if you put his brother on there, I don't think that would have done anything.
No, I mean...
I don't even know who you guys are talking about.
Yeah, of course you don't.
Casey, the boy man.
Matt Dillon's brother.
Oh, the guy who wants to be best friends with...
Yes.
That was in Entourage.
Yeah.
I never watched that show.
Good.
Several other things.
Yeah.
Okay. Get into it. Who's this Martin Campbell guy and why do we care?
Well, we've already done one of his movies.
We have?
Vertical Limit.
Oh, we never have, Sam.
We haven't done Vertical Limit?
No, you keep not pulling the trigger on it.
Huh. How about that? I thought we did Vertical Limit.
No, we have not.
Weird.
Yeah.
Take it to the limit.
Nope.
The vertical limit.
Different thing than that.
Oh.
So this is a few years off of the smashing success that Gale Anne Hurd had with Jimmy Cam in Terminator 2, the most expensive movie that had ever been made. And she did a movie for HBO with Martin Campbell and decided he's the guy.
Okay.
I don't think she works with Jimmy Cam anymore, really. I think T2 was the last one, wasn't it? It was Aliens, Abyss, and T2.
I can't think of anything else she would have been involved in after that.
Riding high off that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Martin Campbell had done this movie called Criminal Law, which he holds in the highest regard that I've never even heard of or seen, but it was very well received. And then he did another movie called Defenseless with Deborah Winger, I think, right when the stock of Deborah Winger had pretty much bottomed out. And did terrible, and he thought he was just going to have to direct TV after that. And he was directing a TV movie called Cast a Deadly Spell. Okay. And it was on HBO, though.
Okay.
Gale Anne Hurd produced it.
Uh-huh.
And she gets the rights for this script that was a adaptation of a very violent novel, apparently. And he's like, I don't want to do that. It's too violent. And so she's like, okay, we'll find somebody else. They couldn't find anybody else, and she really wanted him to do it. And he's like, no, I'm not doing it. It's too violent. And finally, she was like, after the second time, was like, no, you can fucking buy a house if you do this movie. And you like to do movies. Do you want to do movies again? He's like, fine, I'll do it. And so they toned down the violence. And it went so well that right after he got done with it, the phone rings, and he's like, yeah, well, I mean, it didn't tank. It basically did what it had to do to make a little bit of scratch. It was $20 million. Domestically, it made $15.3 million, which puts it right at the spot in 1994 that you get some cash once it's on the shelves at the video store.
And obviously with the HBO distribution, they're double dipping.
Well, no, this wasn't an HBO movie. This went to theaters.
Yeah, but you just said it was an HBO.
No, the movie that he did with Gale Anne Hurd in 91 was Cast a Deadly Spell with Remo Williams.
I thought that was the same movie we were talking about. Okay, I'm lost.
No, that's what got him her, and then her going, you should be the one that does No Escape.
Okay.
And it's not a small budget, but it's a relatively modest budget for a major theater release, really.
$28 million at this time? Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
It's not small, but it's modest for what they're putting it up against, kind of a thing. And I feel like she thought she was going to get some more money because of the T2 respect and all that they were just going to find some more money later, because one of the most interesting things about this movie is that the end sequence is because they didn't get the money I thought they were going to get.
Oh,
they had an entire large set piece written that was a very extraordinary battle, and they didn't get the money. So they came up with that instead, and he, in the featurette's like, I actually think it works better. And I'm like, I think it works better too.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I mean, do we need Braveheart? Braveheart was 94 again, right? Like,
was it?
I think it was 94, somewhere right in there.
That cost like 3 times as much as this.
Yeah, to do these big battle sequences with guys holding their arms and shit, and my guts came out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really think it fits here.
No, and what's also fun is that the extras, because they shot this in Queensland mostly. Mm-hmm. The studio work was done at Pinewood, and
that's in Australia for Jackie.
No, Pinewood's in England.
No, Queensland.
Queensland is in Australia, and there may have been some stuff they shot in New Zealand, but it seems like they shot most of this in Queensland. And there was New Zealand tourists, because all of the extras are hippies.
Ah, damn dirty hippies.
Or whatever Australia and New Zealand has as hippies. Like, because of where they're at, there was just no shortage of backpackers.
Yeah, they've got to have some clever name for hippies and like
beach bums.
No. Those could be surfers that have like daddy's money. Hippies have got to have. They've got to have their own. I bet you they're like way different. Their version of hippies is way different than our version of hippies.
They're like poppy wallas or something like that.
Yeah, not even.
Oh, yeah. Ran into the poppy wallas.
Yeah.
Filthy bastards.
But they're if you see backpackers in Australia, your odds are that you're also dirty. Because you're
backpacking.
You're backpacking. Like, so I mean, like, how do you be like, get out of here, you damn dirty hippie? Ah, snake! And then the hippie kills it for you, and you're like, all right, you go bite by me. Let's go have a pint. And then fight.
So, yeah, they have that budgetary concern, which sort of killed what they thought was going to be a big sort of action scene that would really solidify its position where they were trying to put it in the block that it got, which is probably one of the reasons why only so many people went to see this. Like, nobody ran out going, wow, what a great movie. Yeah. Whereas if you're me and you see it, 5 years after its release and you never heard of it, you're like, wow, this is kind of a weird movie. I like it. But the phone rings and Martin Campbell's like, hello. And they're like, hi, would you like to direct GoldenEye? And he's like, excuse me? What? Bond? What? They're like, oh yeah, we liked how you ran your operation down here at Pinewood. You were efficient. You didn't take up too much space. And we saw no escape and we really liked it. And he's like, what? What? Okay. No, I'll do it. What? When I watch this, though, I can kind of see what they saw. They knew the whole story. They kind of ran into him at Pinewood. They knew what was going on. They knew that the budget got pulled, and they went, the only things wrong with this movie have nothing to do with your performance as a director. And so he gets GoldenEye, and that's a smash fucking hit.
Sure, absolutely.
And when they decided to reboot the franchise with Daniel Tightpants, what is his name?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Tightpants.
Guess who they called? Martin Campbell, even though he did Vertical Limit. And they're like, we're going to pretend you didn't do Vertical Limit.
Okay, we'll let that one slide.
We're going to let that slide. Mask of Zorro gets a hall pass, too. I'm pretty sure that one stinks.
It made a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. Well, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Antonio Banderas eating cereal across a table from each other would have made $100 million.
It's too sexy.
It's too sexy.
Excuse me. I need a refund on this movie. It's too sexy.
Yeah. I mean, it's just dripping the sexy.
Have you guys ever went to the box office and asked for a refund for a movie?
Oh, absolutely. One time. And I can't.
What was it?
I think it might have been Swordfish.
Oh, you should have asked for a refund.
I think it was Swordfish. Because I fucking hated that shit.
That shit is terrible. Did we do that one?
No, we haven't done Swordfish.
We haven't done Swordfish.
No. You can go to the website and there's a whole list of movies we've done.
Yeah, I know. It's really long now. Did you know that?
Yeah, but it's all alphabetized.
We've been doing this a while.
Going back and making sure we did a movie is like a half-hour thing.
It's alphabetized. You can do it pretty quick.
That doesn't help.
Okay, all right. Probably because you don't know how the alphabet works, but that's a different topic.
I do. I know how the alphabet works.
Starts with a C.
So anyway, also David Wenham is in this.
He's
one of the makeup
Wenham.
guys.
Yes. Who?
David Wenham.
Nope.
Faramir.
Yep.
Faramir.
Yeah.
From Lord
of the Rings. He's in all sorts of shit.
I guess those
David
movies
Wenham's
are getting
awesome.
pretty old. Yeah. Okay. All right. Faramir, huh?
Yeah, he's Faramir. I was excited about that. I think he's the red-haired makeup guy, but I couldn't tell.
The Spy. Right?
No, he would have been the other guy's right-hand man with the long red hair, and he looks like he has...
That's the Spy.
No,
that is not the Spy.
It is.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
I'll do that. Well, okay. All right.
I don't know, but that might have been him. It looked like...
Okay.
Anyway.
We're talking about the same character, so...
Ernie Hudson, this is a very standard casting process because it's a very in-system movie that's being made here. And they knew they couldn't get anybody big. So they got Ray Liotta, and they're like, really? Ray wants to do it? And he's like, yeah, I'll do an action movie. I haven't done one of those yet. He's like, I actually have to read this. It's a quote from Ray Liotta about the selection process he does for his films.
I'll do any of them. Quote, unquote.
Yeah.
In the name of the king, you betcha.
You want to do as many different genres as you can. And that's why I've been doing. I've done movies with the Muppets. I did Sinatra. I did good guys. I did bad guys. I did a movie with an elephant. I decided that I was here to be different parts and do different things. That's what it's really about. That's what a career should be. And then you look at his filmography and you're like, what the fuck? Yes, you did.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like,
some of
using
it
the word
said no to.
using the word range with Ray Liotta is not where his character's the exact same every time.
It is not.
Okay. All right. I beg to differ.
And the one movie and it's very Ray Liotta. He's still Ray Liotta. But the darkness that he embraces in the movie Narc is spellbinding.
Okay. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm just saying.
He's
not.
In this, you get like the full Liotta experience. He is not being Ray Liotta at all. And it works so well because the rest of the movie is so weird that you're like, I would totally expect Ray Liotta to behave like this in this odd scenario. Also, Nancy and Tina Sinatra mailed him a horse head.
What?
Like for fun? Or
Because
like
he
owed
did
them
the
money?
HBO. He played Sinatra in the HBO movie
right.
and not in their miniseries that they produced.
So they...
It's a joke, but still they were like, why, Ray? And also that, like...
I bet you the horse didn't think it was funny.
Well, maybe the horse was having... It was that time that he did... his head needed to come off already. Maybe it wasn't a real horse head. I don't know. It could have been like a candy one, like a cake. It doesn't get
Those
very
are details
elaborate.
that I think we should have found out first.
Because it's all just what Ray Liotta told somebody in an interview once, and you've watched interviews with Ray Liotta. He's so easygoing that he's not going to be like, it was a real horse head. And I was like scared, so I called him. They're like, no, it's a joke. And I'm like, this is a Sinatra joke? What the fuck? Or no, it was a cake. I loved it. You don't get that.
No, I'm pretty sure that it was the pony at the fair that bit one too many kids at the pony ride, and they were like, that's it, that pony's got to go. And just then, Nancy Sinatra was walking by and was like, I'll take that pony.
She's like, these boots are made for walking. She did that song.
Yep. And
Chop
also
off a horse's head, too.
Like, Nancy and Tina Sinatra are like, there's only one man that can play our dad, and it's Ray Liotta. Yeah. So he has quite the array of fans.
Mm-hmm. Yep, sure does. I like Ray Liotta.
Ernie Hudson did this for one reason alone.
Cash.
It was the only movie that came across because he, at this time, he's one, the Ghostbuster that has to still work. Mm-hmm. And then two, he kind of, because he was a Ghostbuster, gets to be kind of picky still about which character roles he takes. Mm-hmm. And this one had travel written on the dossier. And this is the first movie he did after The Crow. And he said he just wanted to get as far away from humanity as he possibly could. Like, he apparently did not do very well after Brandon Lee got shot on that set.
No, it'd be horrible.
It would be horrible.
But yeah, I mean, good. That's a savvy. Like, he doesn't get to say, well, I'm taking the next 5 years off to deal with my mental health. I don't get to do that because I'm Ernie Hudson and I don't have that type. I don't have Bill Murray's money. Okay.
I'm the Ghostbuster that has to work.
Yeah. So I have to still work. It's a good on him. Smart. He probably came back a lot happier and healthier.
And where have you been all my life? Stuart Wilson, the guy that plays Walter Merrick. Whoa. Isn't
that
he
guy
fun?
kicked ass.
He's too much fun. I think he's so fun that an average moviegoer's like, don't see that. The bad guy's weird. Whereas other people are like, oh, majesty
so
in acting.
So
yeah, he's just so damn charming that you really like him.
He's
but
awesome.
you know, he's a total psycho. You're like, I'd still invite him out for dinner.
I'm going to totally ruin your love affair here, Sam. That's Jack Travis in Lethal Weapon 3.
I know.
And he sucks in it.
Yeah, he does.
He's the worst villain
He's
ever.
great in this. He's also in Zorro 2, which I remember nothing about.
Yeah.
I said I mentioned Kevin Dillon. Don Henderson, the guy that only has one arm and makes the moonshine. Who is he? Pop quiz.
He's General Taggy in Star Wars.
Yes. Michael Lerner, everybody knows.
This
Kevin J. O'Connor, the guy
is not fully functional, but he said something shitty like that. And
No, he's the
Vader's
one
like,
that
you're a little bastard.
antiquated. Yeah, no one believes in your antiquated religion. And the thing of the past. That's him.
Yeah, that's it.
And then Kevin J. O'Connor is in The Mummy, the guy that has the bad teeth and is like the requisitioner of products.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Ian McNeice has been in every fucking thing. And he's the fat guy. That's the fat guy.
And the Warden. The Warden's somebody, too.
I already mentioned him. That's Michael Lerner.
Okay, yeah.
And the father is somebody, too.
Lance goddamn Henriksen,
We've talked
Jackie.
about Lance Henriksen like 4 times already.
Father somebody. Yeah, it's fucking Lance Henriksen. He's a staple of the goddamn podcast.
Yeah. It's also funny because, like, I've been wandering around for 20 years, like, asking weird people that I know, like, what's the story? Have you found, is this going to go back into print? It's odd. This was released, they pushed the release of this. I mean, it did okay. They released a video game simultaneously. This one got a video game.
Called
on
No
both
Escape?
Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis.
Okay, all right.
And this isn't the sort of movie that falls out of print. You know what I mean? It's in that budget range where it's like, you're dependent on these video sales. This one went out of print for like 20 years. And I don't know if it was, if you could, because if it got Laserdisc, maybe. I got the re-release Blu-ray, and that's what I watched it on. And so this is the first time I saw it in CinemaScope, because I saw it on 4x3 from the video store before, and the shooting is quite good. But yeah, it was just odd that it had fallen out of print, and then it's got all these people in it, but whenever I'm talking to somebody about it, I'm always like, No Escape with Ray Liotta. That's the only thing I say is No Escape with Ray Liotta, and I don't think I've called this movie anything but No Escape with Ray Liotta since I saw it, and virtually no one has seen it, but now it's available. It's on Tubi. We can watch it. You can buy it for like $8. I bought it for like $8. So, yeah.
Fantastic. There is a stunning lack of boobs in this movie. Nobody gets their titties out.
There
That's
is
not true.
one actress in the film.
Not
only men.
a single actress.
No, that's not true.
There was
Christmas
an actress.
tree. The Christmas tree was a lady.
Oh,
she had boobs.
The Christmas
Rudolph
tree
the
had
red
some
boobed
knockers,
reindeer
That's
tree.
right.
The tree had knockers.
Some prison knockers. Hey, don't leave Gary alone with that tree. He's been in here for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We got a lot of ground to cover here. There's a ton of shit that happens in this movie. Not all of it interesting, but all of it is plot relevant. So
We should start that this movie happened last year.
yeah, no shit. 2022.
And then it says something about private prisons, and I was like, oh yeah, that guy that was part of The Big Short just pulled all of his money in everything and invested them in private prisons. Yay!
This movie's prophetic. We're all going to Absalom someday in Trump's America. Right?
Escape from New York, all of it, yeah.
He's gonna win next election, right, guys? Okay, so the whole prison system has been taken over by private prisons, and it also appears that the world has been blown up.
Yeah, there's some real dust bullshit happening here.
This is a PA movie, right?
No. There's like the prison's a megaplex, so it's not.
It is.
There's a super futuristic monorail, so there's been environmental damage, there's been wars, there's wasteland, but there's still cities.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's fine. But that's still, I mean, what's that train movie? The train goes around the world movie? The Captain America?
Snowpiercer?
Yeah, isn't that a PA movie?
Yes, because the apocalypse has happened. This is no apocalypse. It's just shitty. Okay. It's like Judge Dredd. It's just dystopia.
All right.
It's very Judge Dreddy, actually.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you dystopia. All right. So Ray Liotta, he's on his way. He's a guy that's named Corporal J.T. Robbins. Robbins, tough guy name.
I thought he was Captain J.T. Robbins.
Captain J.T. Robbins. Either way, he's called Robbins for the rest of the movie. It's not, I would have gone with something else. But he was in a war at some point off screen, and he had to blow up some children, and a la Platoon type stuff. And he didn't like it. And so he killed his commanding officer by shooting him right in the face in front of everybody while marching to, I don't know, but I've been told. I don't know, but I've been told. This officer is not going to get old. Wait,
because I shot him in the face. The first time I saw this was on VHS, and I think they had an alternate shot. They did have an alternate shot that was a little bit different that I think would have played a little bit better with 4x3, but it's more overhead. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking, and they took the color out of it a little bit. And I can't confirm or deny this because it's been 25 years since I've seen it, I think. Before now, that shot on the VHS copy was actually like very iconic. Like I remember the rest of the movie not holding up to that shot, whereas this time around in the scope version, that shot doesn't hold up with the rest of the movie hardly at all. It's a very different experience.
Oh. Noted.
But it's fun when he shoots the guy in the face. You don't see it coming. Sandra was like, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, not fun, but it's wow. Not what I expected.
All right, so he gets arrested, and he's being transported in on this bullet train through the wasteland to the Leviticus maximum security prison.
Level 6, gentlemen.
6. How many? It seems like level 6 isn't very high up because that's a pretty big building.
Well, he's already escaped from 2 level 5s.
Oh, it's a level. The whole prison's level 6. He's not going to level 6. Like,
no.
Ladies' garments and lingerie, level 6.
Yeah, it's in a wasteland, so there's no escape.
Okay. Well, but there is.
But they just haven't met Captain J.T. Robbins yet.
Excuse me, I'd like to go to the place that you consider worse. You can get out of this maximum security prison. Okay, so
it's also Leviticus prison, so there's no ham. Anybody?
Oh no!
Book of Leviticus. Deuteronomy.
Okay, thanks a lot, Kanye. So he's called into the warden's office, and the warden's like, "You don't fuck around in my prison." And he's like, "Oh yeah, well you'd never turn your back on me because all I'm gonna do, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna act tough. I'm gonna act like a real tough guy. That's what I'm gonna do." His
Ray Liotta-ing is prominent from the get-go, and this is right when you go, no, what kind of character he's brought here is he's like, I'm gonna talk softer than Chuck Norris, but I will fuck you up.
Right.
See, and I kind of thought that it was the kid that's like, I'm not listening. I don't have to do what you tell me to.
Oh yeah,
I can't hear you. I don't like your tan suit.
Yeah, and that's how the warden treats him because he beats the shit out of him, or has his guys beat the shit out of him, and he's thrown in a cell. And
that guy would be sweating hot dogs if he tried to.
Sweating hot dogs.
Yeah, he just looks like a guy who eats a lot of hot dogs. I don't know why. I think it's the tan suit. that kind of reminds me of a hot dog bun.
Ray Liotta looks like a guy that he...
No, the prison warden. That if he tried to beat on Ray Liotta, he'd have a hot dog heart attack.
Okay, all right. Well, he doesn't. He has mans for that, Jackie, which I clearly defined. And they throw him in his cell, and he's got a nice cellmate. He's like, here, buddy, I got some food for you. Don't let him see it. Also, put on your this hat that I made out of aluminum foil because they're listening. They're controlling your mind with their jet streams and their fluoride or jet chemtrails. They're doing chemtrails and fluoride, and it's turning the frogs gay. They can hear you. Thoughts. The man.
Have you heard of the fluoridation of natural water?
Yeah.
I also thought it was great that at this point they also explained that they were doing DNA scans that showed that he was violent and aggressive.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It was in his nature, gentlemen.
Okay.
It was
to fuck shit up.
Just like all of the mid-budget 90s sci-fi, it gets really prophetic on society taking a nosedive into privatization, but they're way off on computers. They think we're going to build these grand structures. The computers suck, and then it's been the exact opposite. The computers are way better, and we just build the same shit that we've been building for 70 fucking years.
That's right. They're always wrong about the computers.
I definitely think there should be a law against ugly-ass buildings. Me, personally. If I have to look at that shit, I don't want to look at a brown, tan, taupe square with some depressing-looking, desperate windows where people go to die, because that's what you think of when you look at those buildings. Like, people go in there to die just a little every day.
Jackie would
and
have
I feel sorry for them.
Jackie would have never made it in Soviet Ukraine.
Or rural
Cuba
Pennsylvania?
Or rural Pennsylvania. The same architecture. Soviet Ukraine.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't have liked living in the USSR, Jackie. They were very bland architecturally and very this is a building. We do not put decor on building.
Well, considering that I just came back from Branson, Missouri, and there was a Hollywood building that had a King Kong that was hanging off the side of it, and one building that was half of the Titanic. My standards are a little higher these days.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was also a hamburger and fries place that was shaped like a hamburger and fries.
Your guys' proximity to Peachtree in Georgia means that you get a lot of better sculptures. They make like half of those sign sculptures for basically the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, it was super cool. I just wanted to rub your guys' noses in it that while you guys were recording last weekend, I was doing cool shit.
I think we might have had more fun.
Whatever, dude. I got kissed by a kangaroo.
Last week was pretty wild. Okay, anyways, we got to talk about this movie, Jackie, not your vacation. So his cellmate is like, don't let him take you to Absalom. And
here's a biscuit.
Here's a biscuit.
And then he just goes to sleep.
Yeah, he's like, okay, nap time. He wakes up and his cellmate's gone, and he's like, oh, shit. So then he's taken into this torture room, and the cellmate's up on this X-Cross, and the warden's like, sharing food is a capital crime. You will get capitally
hoarding it.
Punished.
Yeah.
Which I thought that when he busted out those, I don't know what that looked like.
It's a barbecue fork?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought they were going to stab his balls off.
Yeah, or you could probably tune to the key of C with it.
Yeah. On his balls.
And he's like, as punishment, you will have 10 lashes with a tuning fork that shoots electricity. Wait, these aren't lashes.
It's just a taser. Don't tase me, bro.
Have you heard of what a lash is? I mean, you're into capital or corporal punishment, and you don't know what lashes are.
Yep.
Let me show you a picture. Call it something else. Just call it 10 pokies. You'll get
tasing.
Yeah.
He's tasing him with a very stupid taser.
It is a very stupid taser. And so the warden's like, okay, that's one. Now you do the rest. J.T. Robbins, this is your lesson. You punish this man for sharing food with you.
And I know that you're predisposed to violence and aggression. So I'm just going to hand
Here's a
you
weapon.
and force you to take this weapon.
Here's a weapon.
Like, this seems like a real shit plan.
Yeah. But at that point, JT Robbins is like, this is stupid. And he just drops it. He's like, I can do better without this.
Yeah,
This
right.
thing's dumb.
I don't even need it. So then the warden's like, pick it up. And he's like, no, I'm going to pick you up and your gun.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to drop it on the ground and be like, what you got?
Just giving you a preview of things to come. This is not my ideal escape scenario, but just know that your no escape doesn't apply to JT Robbins.
It sure doesn't. Because his punishment, they let him escape to a nice place. Absalom
Sort of.
is way better than Leviticus 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have ham.
Welcome to Jamaica.
Yeah. Sun, beaches, fresh air,
Fresh food.
wildlife,
Fish.
go fishing.
Rats with dicks this big.
They got a rat. It's a bit of a rat problem, but I'm sure that Leviticus 6 also has probably like some pest problem.
Well, the thing about having a rat problem if it's a prison colony is then, there's no shortage of rats to eat.
True. I'll eat a rat if I need to. I would rather probably eat a rat than like whatever the slop is that Leviticus 6 is dialing up.
Oh, yeah. Rat burgers are good. Demolition Man.
Yeah, right. Going to Taco Bell. That's what they serve too.
Yeah.
They just aren't going to tell you about it. I mean, Taco Bell probably does serve rats, and I'm like, give me more Taco Bell. Doritos Los Tacos, please. Yummy rats.
Well, my uncle used to work for a ketchup company.
Okay.
I'll just put it at that. I know which one it is, but
There's not very many
whatever.
of them.
And he was in the processing plant, and they had these big vats of tomato sauce, right, that was being boiled down or whatever
Being ruined into ketchup.
Yeah.
being ruined into ketchup. And he said that the rats would just be in there swimming around and shit. So he won't eat ketchup because he's like, they get strained out, because eventually they drown and then they go down into the strainer. And then there's a guy down there that pulls out the tray.
That are drowning.
He's like, there's a guy down there that has a little tray that, when it gets clogged up, he has to pull the dead rats out and put them in the trash can and then put the thing back on.
Reason number 87 to not like ketchup.
How about,
Yep.
let's deregulate the food industry.
Yeah.
'cause
Unnecessary,
they're so clean.
frivolous regulations.
Yeah, regulation. Excuse me, there's a rat leg in my ketchup sauce.
Only one?
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. So he's put on a chopper and he's taken to Absalom, which is an island in the tropics. They've got jungles and no dangerous animals that appear in this film. There's not even mention of dangerous animals.
They have food animals only on this island.
I mean,
Yeah, like you don't see a single snake.
no snakes. No, even like monkeys. There's some birds, and that's about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
sign me
And it
up.
seems to stay pretty warm throughout the movie.
Right?
I mean, they've all got like light sweaters on to keep you warm during the cold nights. Like, that's a cardigan.
Uh-huh.
Like, this place is pretty fucking nice.
Yeah. I mean,
But there's no escape because you can't swim through the missiles and sharks.
why would you want to, though? That's my point. Like,
Well, you find out why later.
I'm still pretty okay with it after why later. I mean,
Okay.
I would rather do this than prison, okay? I don't want to go to either, but I'd rather do this than prison, especially
the
Leviticus 4.
At the same time, maybe it's not much punishment for the prisonee, but for the warden, you don't have to worry about him as much in your thinking anyway. Like, okay, well, this guy's a fucking problem. Let's just get rid of him, send him to his death or to his slow death or to a long life of living in a jungle, but not fucking with my prison system.
Okay,
And
I
there
get
seems
that.
to be a lot of these people in here. Like, there's quite a few people on this
Well,
island.
we know of at least 700. Because
Yeah.
the outsiders got 600 and the insiders got 98. So, yeah, there's quite a few. Actually, 99 now, including counting Ray Liotta. Okay. So, he's dropped in Sector 4, And rats start swarming him, and he's like, get off me, rats. What are you even doing? Go find some ketchup to get into. And then that's the last we really deal with the rats at all. So it's not like they're just like
That's
the
not
welcoming
true.
committee.
That's not true. We see a rat fight later when the guy's cooking the rat and the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are
said
dead
rat.
rats. It doesn't imply that these rats are a problem, and except for
But
when
the rats
you
are a
land
food
right there.
source.
Yeah, you just land, they cover you, and you say, get off, and then you're done
Where
with
did
rats.
these rats come from? Because he's just laying there, and then he looks up and he's just like,
Covered in
boom, rats.
Yeah.
Covered in rats. It's one of the weird incongruencies in this movie that you're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Without stuff like this, you might be getting more money back on this theatrical release.
Then he hears a bunch of weird screams, a bunch of howling, a bunch of crying out, and he starts seeing shapes moving through the jungle, and he's surrounded by the outsiders. And he's captured.
These are the jungle outsiders. There seems to be multiple gangs.
Yeah, they say that during the movie because
I think they're all called outsiders, though, because there's...
They are, but yeah.
But there are multiple gangs, at least 5 or 6.
Mhm.
The thing
Based
that
off the head count later.
Yeah, there's 6. So there's factions to the outsiders, whereas the insiders they're just insiders.
Right. So he's taken before the leader, a guy named Walter Merrick, and who's a pretty good Dennis Hopper from Waterworld facsimile.
I don't know that he's even that. He's something so strange on his own because he's just not at all what he should be in such a lightning bolt 180-degree fashion that you're like, wow, this is fantastic. It's like, oh, how do you like our grounds? We've got a pool. He's incredible.
Yeah.
From the get-go. And then his chemistry with Liotta is fantastic because he doesn't do anything but Ray Liotta, where he's like, oh, do you take plastic? And you're like, this is happening dialogue-wise? I love it.
These guys are bantering like dorks. And there's some...
And he's like, we take all kinds of payment types here.
Yeah.
But first, you got to prove yourself by fighting in the Thunderdome. So
5 minutes in the pool with Ralph.
yeah.
And they're like setting it up like it's...
You're aquatic instructor.
Yes, Ralph is the aquatic instructor. They set it up like it's going to be a really big battle, and then Ray Liotta just kills him immediately.
I loved that part where, like, the other guy's getting ready with his spear, and he hits the statue, and he's all bullshitting up, and then Ray Liotta just spikes him in the heart with a spear. And everybody just kind of stands around like, oh, that's it?
Oh, well, I like your style. How about I hire you? You can take old Ralphie boy's job. Yeah. Okay. I'll stick around. Lie, fake.
Yeah.
Psych.
Well, he's like, as long as you get a new lifeguard, huh?
Yeah. And then pushes him in the water.
Mm-hmm. And takes his gun.
And takes his gun. And then runs away. And Merrick is like, so here you are, you land on an island, you've been told nothing about it. The very first thing that happens to you is you're covered in rats. The next thing is you got to fight a guy, but it kind of seems like that's your MO. You like it. And then I offer you a job and like food, shelter. We've got a bunch of cool guys that you can hang out with here. And you're like, no, I'll take my chances out in the woods that I know nothing about.
He's a special forces guy. He's going to take his chances out in the woods. The only thing you need if you're going to go into those woods after Rambo is a good supply of body bags.
I don't get his decision here. Like, okay, I'll see how it goes at least, because I don't know what the...
I'll explain it later when we get there.
I don't know what the fuck is out there. There could be, like, the smoke monster from Lost. There could be chupacabras. Is it even an island? Maybe there's, like, half the island is filled with cannibals. You guys seem like you're not cannibals, even though it turns out you are cannibals. But I don't find that out for a little while. I'll stick around. Seriously, take me on a tour of your thing. Tell me what's going on here. How long you guys been here? I want to do some information collection before I'm just like, I'm going to piss you off and run. Wee.
It seems like a
I'm
shitty
going,
place to work.
Yeah, I'm going with Sam. You fucking run, because every one of those buttholes has some kind of tribal tattoo.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, nope, I'm out.
Okay, so before, when he was in a level security 6 prison that was worse than like the prison in Alien 3, those guys with tribal tattoos didn't bother you? Because it's indoors?
He was only there for like 24 hours, dude.
Before they're dead from being murdered by the warden.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, I want to... Yes, this is already an upgrade from where I was. Let's see what's going on here. Where the fuck am I? Who are you? How long have you been here? Any of it.
I'm falling back on my survival skills as a special forces guy.
Nobody's
Fuck
hunting
those
him.
guys. They're
Nobody's
dicks.
hunting him now. He's just gotten a job. Kick your feet up. I'll have Benny bring in some of our toilet wine. Then we'll talk turkey.
All right.
That's all I'm just saying. Okay. So he's running away, and I thought this is where this movie was going to turn into a Never Hunt a Man movie. It does not. But he kills some guy, and he takes his sword thing, whatever. I don't know. And he tumbles down a hill, and he gets cut in the leg. It's a pretty deep gash, and I don't think that's good. You're out in the jungle with a deep gash. I think you got some gross stuff going to happen in there later.
Yep.
It's not good. Oh, and there's a buried guy. He's like taking a break to check out his wounds, and just happens to do it next to like a Danton wannabe, because there's just a guy that's been buried in the ground for a while, and it's like, ha! Ha ha! I was hoping an escaped convict that I was ordered to kill would stumble upon me and start examining his leg. How long were you in there? 6 years.
Yeah, just open my mouth and let worms crawl in. It's how I survive.
Merrick gave me a bullshit job. And then, like, he avoids a booby trap, and it's the shittiest booby trap of all time, because he just simply dodges it, and then it kills another guy.
Yeah, the other guy's like, I'm faster than the booby trap, and he isn't. And I'm like, just hang out there. Because he's stuck to it.
Just stop running away from it, dummy. But then he's shot in the leg with an arrow. And that never develops anywhere.
It does.
It does?
Yep.
Okay. And he makes
he has to walk with a cane for...
No, that's from the big gash.
No, it's not. It's from the arrow.
No, it's from the arrow.
So the big gash just goes away.
The big gash is not nearly as bad as the arrow wound.
I'm pretty sure
it's not.
Bad gash.
Puncture wound from an arrow is real bad.
Okay. All right. So he makes it to this cliffside, and he's got nowhere to go. And then he's like, you guys suck. And so they dart him a bunch of times, and he conks out and falls off the cliff.
This was a special rig that they had to build. Did you notice that the guy that was falling looked like he was tethered?
A little, and not moving at full speed.
Yeah, they did some pretty articulate things to get rid of those wires, and then this made it to where the camera could follow him down. So it's kind of a neat shot, but you can tell that he's on
I still
wires.
think it's like a really expensive and scary stunt, because he falls forever.
Yeah, they spent the money on this and then the fires later, and then that's all they had. Because they didn't get the extra monies.
So he falls into the water. He washes up on shore, and he's taken in by the insiders to their village. They've built a whole society. The insiders, this alternative tribe, you might call them.
Which is weird, because they, in the shots, where he's hobbling around, there's obviously some sheep business or some alpaca or something, right? Because they've got all the wool or whatever, and then they're making clothing at the spinning wheel. But at no time do you ever see those animals.
Yeah, maybe they got them on like another ridge or something.
See turkeys and pigs later.
You do.
Yeah,
so
you see those guys.
too.
Yeah. Now they got a whole system here. They got a windmill, so they're making flour and grains, and they got electricity even. And they just collect shit that washes up on shore from the mainland and fashion it into goods.
Yep. And they can knit like sons of bitches, because the sweater that he gets later is really nice.
It's really nice. Is that cashmere?
It's just a really nice knit. I was like, oh, that's a nice sweater.
I was looking for, of course, it's cashmere.
Okay. It's not cashmere. It's just fucking normal goat. It's a sheep.
Of course it's cashmere. Damn it. Okay. So he tries to open some door, and Ernie Hudson shows up and is like, you go in there, I'll kill you. And then that never develops ever again in the whole movie that I can tell. Okay.
It does.
It does.
Secret door.
He goes in there later, and you know why they're not allowed to go in there.
I don't. Okay. Is that where they keep the whores? So he's taken to father, who's Lance Hendrickson, and he's like, "You want to be with us? Like, we're cool, we're chill. We've got food source. We have like nightly parties. You're still eating rats, but sometimes we'll cook up a nice pig. But you get your own room. We'll provide you with clothes. Greg does a great foot massage if you ever are interested in something like that. And you can put titties on his back and, pretend he's Dolly Parton. He's pretty cool. You want to stick around? He's like, no, I'm done joining people.
Yeah. He says no to everything again and doesn't stop being a twat, and you find out why later, and it takes like 3 times of watching this movie for that to make any sense.
Okay, so what are you going to do? I'm going to go out into the woods. Oh, so you're joining the rats? No, I'm done joining. Nope, I'm not doing any joining.
Says, I'm going to escape.
Yeah, I'm getting off this island.
Leaving?
That's what I'm doing.
Where are you going to go?
Up your butt and around the corner.
Somewhere else.
Carson City.
Where do you? What's it to you?
Well,
and then he's like,
"You're going to join people out there. I don't understand why you join those people, but not like, are you? Oh, I'm fancy. I don't join beach people.
Yeah.
What we do wrong to you? Are you too good? Why do you want to join Carson City? Not us, huh?
But then he's like, oh. And we got a flight risk, huh? Take him to go see Dicer, and then he gets to go to the science place.
Yeah, right. He's also explained that he can escape because it's 200 miles off the mainland. They've got radar tracking from a satellite, thermal imaging. They can see your every move. And then they've got gunships that'll come and blow you up if you try to escape. So you can't. Oh, and sharks. There's sharks out there.
Sharks.
So if you're good at swimming, sharks. So you're not getting out of here. Either way, you can't leave until you're healed up. Just got to deal with that leg injury.
Which is from the arrow.
Right. Okay. One of the problems I have with this place, though, is they don't have medicine, which makes sense.
They have some. There's salves. Anything that they can make the plant, they can find in the plants around them, they can use to make like salves and things like that.
But they don't have a supply of antibiotics or
nope.
What's the other one? That's penicillin.
No toothpaste.
Yeah, no toothpaste. The prison is not dropping off supplies for them. So if you do get an arrow in your leg, I don't think you're making it.
Maybe he made it.
Especially if it has doo-doo on it.
Well, apparently, later we find out that Lance Henriksen is one hell of a surgeon, so... They have alcohol, so they can... They have alcohol, so they can perform a surgery.
A little disinfectant here and there. But you still got to fight infection.
If as long as they did it right and they keep it to where it doesn't get infected, he's going to live.
Okay. Except for later when he falls into the pig poop pen. Ah, shit, I tripped.
He's healed up by then.
It's been like 2 days.
There's an indeterminate amount of time that passes here because he basically has a 2-month injury to be able to walk again, at least bare minimum. And in this time period, we see a lot of things, and then eventually he'll be walking without the cane.
Okay, so he walks down the shore, and it's way too choppy. The waves, you can't even get out there swimming, or like a little tiny boat that'll just push you back into the rocks and you'll die. And there he meets Stefano, who is like the junk dealer of the insiders.
Yeah. The requisitioner.
Yeah. And Casey, we get introduced to Casey along the way too. He's like hey, can I be your pal? Come on, Spike. I want to be your pal, Spike. It's the little yappy dog.
Yep.
Follows him around. What are we gonna do? Yeah, shut up. Smacks him. What else have we got going on here?
Booze. The guy from Star Wars has got the booze.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens before the first invasion that's really just a lot of setting up these different characters.
Yeah, and the world.
The world that they build. And
it's pretty standard Waterworld-y shit, though.
It's better than Waterworld.
Well, of course, everything is. But, it's like, hey, don't go out at night. Okay, I'll talk shit to you. Also, there's, like, supply drops for the outsiders, but not for us. And there's helicopters that fly over and blah, 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 blah.
And they have a banishment sequence for a guy that's fallen asleep at his post twice. That's maybe the most relevant thing happens before the invasion.
I wonder what happened to that guy.
He got eaten by the other guys outside.
If you were to be banished from this place, would you like go walk out into the woods, or would you just kind of start like maybe try to fashion an axe out of a cool stick and a rock, and then chop down some bamboo and try to like build a little hut just right outside the walls?
You'd probably just beeline it to the outsiders and see if you can peddle any minor amount of information for your life.
Jax?
If it was me, I would have walked off the cliff like right as soon as they dropped me off. I would have been like, I'm not living in this shithole with no toilet paper, no proper plumbing.
No toilet paper. It's also a problem.
Yeah.
Leaves everywhere, you're fine.
Or would you just do the hydro wipe?
The hydro wipe doesn't work. We've talked about this. It just gets the poo all over your body.
Well, you're
I guess the debate works, but you still have to wipe the water up. So, I mean...
No, you just go down to where the rocks are at. It's splashy. You just get real waves. Straight
and
right
then
in that
die
beehole.
from the rocks. The only way to get the hydro wipe powerful enough to work with natural water is to kill yourself on rocks.
But your butt's clean. Charmin Bear would be proud. You made a beautiful corpse, and now we're eating him because I'm a bear and I don't care about wiping my butt. Okay. All right, so meanwhile, at the Outsiders camp, this guy who has crazy teeth and tattoos, he questions the leadership. He's like, we're getting hungry because we're eating rats and there's not enough rats to go around. Maybe somebody else should take charge. And so Noodle Fritz, what's his name? Merrick. He just cuts his head off. And he says, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Someone, he says, that's not funny. And then he cuts his head off and goes, that's funny.
Murder. Oh, and by the way, I killed these other 6 dudes too, so now I'm in charge.
That's
I did it
later. That's way later.
Damn it.
Hefe?
Really? I thought this was all one scene.
Hefe?
No.
What is his name? That is Pablo. He's a good man. Pablo, raise your hand.
Hold up your head.
Higher. That's totally what's going on here. I mean, there's a tinge of El Guapo in Merrick. Just a tinge.
He's like Lord of the Flies El Guapo.
Would you say you have a plethora? Okay, so he's like, you know what? It turns out that guy that I cut his head off, he should have questioned me, but he was right. We are low on food. We got to take over the insiders. Let's go fuck up their shit. So the insiders are having a Christmas party. They've got tunes. I don't know where they got tunes from, but they got some Dusty Springfield and I think some Slime and the Family Stone.
They probably just have a radio reception.
200 miles offshore?
Channel. Boost to the... And, I mean, these guys have seemed pretty resourceful. They probably figured out how to make an antenna booster or some vinyl washed up on the shore.
Or maybe they're
Tapes,
listening to some of that pirate radio that's broadcast out in international waters so they can get away with copyright infringement.
Sure.
And then, so the outsiders, they're sneaking up. And Marty Robbins, our guy, he's packing up. And he's leaving in the morning. But then the alarm sounds, and so everybody lines the walls with crossbows. They've all got crossbows. Big,
And seashell hats.
Yes, this is one of the things that I think is off-putting to a general audience is the seashell...
armor.
Armor.
Mm-hmm.
Because, they took a bunch of time making that shit.
And wouldn't do a goddamn thing. I
No.
don't know if you've ever touched a seashell, but you can barely get them back to your car before they all shatter in your pocket.
Yeah. It's decorative.
Very decorative.
Somebody got crazy with a hot glue gun.
Washed up on shore with that too, huh?
Yep.
And glue?
This is the mother load, boys. We got 8 sticks of hot glue, a hot glue gun, and a bedazzler. Who would throw this shit away?
Oh, boy. Okay. So, the warden's watching on his monitors.
This is the greatest fail in what satellite surveillance is going to look like in the future.
Yep.
Because we already had it in 94, right?
We did.
We already had it.
Yep. Oh, boy. Okay, so they're watching, and Merrick attacks sneakily from the docks, which seems like a pretty obvious security hole you got there, Hawkins, while the rest shoot fire arrows at the front gates.
And inside, they're just trying to burn that motherfucker down.
Sure.
And then the warden and his accountants that watch monitors are like, well, where's the thermal levels on there? And they're like, well, they're using fire, but nobody else is going to see it yet. Because apparently this is like his personal fucking ant farm of terrors for his jollies that he gets. Because if anyone was to find out he was doing this, it would be a bad deal.
It's okay. We're going to ask some more questions about that because I got some problems. One thing I did like in this sequence, though, is that they hooked the outsiders hooked grappling hooks to the guard tower and then tied ropes, the other end of the ropes with the tree, and then they chopped the tree down, which also pulled down the guard. I thought that was kind of clever.
That's a very good siege tactic
It's good
for
siege
what they've
tactics, yeah. You only need 2 guys to take down an entire guard tower.
got. Yeah.
Pretty clever. So that's how they get in from the front. Marty Robbins, he's killing a bunch of guys, and but Father gets stabbed. So they have to take him away.
Also, during this sequence, Liotta only borrows crossbows from dead people periodically when he needs to kill someone far away. He's just killing men willy-nilly with his bare hands.
Yes.
He is a killing fucking machine.
You know why, Sam? Because the crossbow is a dumb weapon.
The crossbow is a very good weapon if you're not good at archery. An idiot can use it.
Like, if you're defending a fortress, crossbows are not what I would... Just give me a bow and arrow. Just give me bows.
Yes, they
bow
should
and
have
arrows.
been trained as archers. That is the way to do
Oh.
it. You will get off 7 arrows
5 minutes
with the
before I
same
can-
velocity in the same amount of time as one with a crossbow. But a moron can use a crossbow and they can't use a bow and arrow.
Look.
They have to be trained.
Father, I don't. You've done a great job here. I don't mean to be a prick or anything, but if you're a musketeer, a crossbow looks pretty cool. But you're also a fancy pants France man. We live on a desert island. How about just shooting them with longbows?
Yeah.
That also
Longbows would
are
have been
on
the play.
fire.
That also are on fire.
Yeah.
Well, that's their wood source. They don't want to burn that down.
Okay, so Father stabbed, and Merrick, he goes to where they're keeping Father, and he's lecturing him, but then Robin sneaks in, and there's a trap door. Like,
This is, well, you missed the Errol Flynn part. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ray Liotta gives a little Errol Flynn action. It's great. And he kind of sneaks in, and then Merrick and his guy that may or may not be David Wenham have snuck in.
His right-hand man is there.
Yeah, who's got gross face.
He's got gross face.
He's got leprosy or something.
He's not doing great. Yeah, but then he gets lit on fire, and...
It was fun because he bonks the karate guy because that's the other thing that Father has his own kung fu monk.
He does.
Among other strange things about this movie. He's bonked, but he's like, I'm not really bonked bad because he sees Robbins and he like motions him to like, hold on, don't come up here and just start attacking. There's more nuance to this. And he sees the trap door and he's like, oh, okay.
There's a trap
and so
door.
He's like, I'll use the trapdoor. And right when he does the trapdoor, then Kung Fu guy's like, "Zha-zha!" And he shoots an arrow or a throwing knife through the lamp that the gross face guy is holding, and it punctures the lamp to him and catches him on fire because the fuel goes all over him. And now he's just a fire hazard that's roaming this tiny battlefield inside.
Yeah, which leads to Robbins and Merrick fighting briefly, but Merrick is like, ha ha ha, and runs away. And then he's like, retreat?
Yeah.
But, sir, it appears we're kicking ass. They're almost all dead.
So this is with Merrick. He's like, the fire guy gets in the way and he's like, fucking die, my guy. See you later. And then he's like, I didn't know you were here. He said that. He's like, if I would have known you would have been here. And then they give us some clever banter. But ultimately, he's like, I kind of don't care how this goes if I die. If I die, then this didn't go good. I actually only care about me not dying. So he's like, that guy that can kill me is here. I'm out. Let's go.
Sir, there's like 6 left. Are you sure?
That guy's going to kill me. We're out.
How about we
see it
try
in his
fighting
eyes.
him, sir? There's like 300 of us left that could go up there and fight him.
And he will go through you with his bare hands.
Sir, I don't think you're a good leader.
He's not. Later on, he's like, I just really want to be in charge. He doesn't say any level of like why he would be qualified for that. Like it works with who this guy is.
We tore down their walls. We've invaded their village. It's like the Trojan warriors being like, all right, everybody, back in the horse. We're done.
Yeah.
The
They could be
warriors
running
agree,
out of
sorry.
gas. I mean, it seems like the battle is starting to leverage itself to the home team.
No, it is not. After that, there's nobody out there. After they retreat, Robbins comes down and there's dead bodies everywhere. Like they have to light a huge funeral pyre for everybody that's dead.
There's not as many dead people at the funeral pyre, and half of the guys that were dead on the ground were the bad guys too, or the outsiders, because everybody's a bad guy.
Whatever, dude. This guy, you're fired, Merrick. I'm taking over. You want to try to cut my head off with a sword? I'll duck, because you suck.
Yeah, he sucks.
All right. So this funeral pyre gives Robbins flashbacks, and he's like, the Nam, or Afghanistan. I'm not sure because this is 1994 and we haven't done any of that, but it's 2022. So undisclosed war that's like the Nam.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's Willem Dafoe. Struggling.
Fire bad.
Fire bad. I can't look at fire. Oh no. How am I going to keep my feet warm in this desert and wasteland?
They're not in a desert wasteland. They're on a tropical island.
Yeah, but you gotta have.
Quit saying that.
You can't have beach parties without a fire pit, Jackie.
Oh my God. They also don't have a volleyball that I could tell, so they're just fucked on this island.
Yeah, one other guy has volleyball flashbacks.
They have small pigs. They can chase the greased pigs. It's fun.
Okay, that's a pig race, right?
Yeah. With gambling. Seashell gambling.
God, I wish we had some
Yeah.
chicks. God, every time we get together and have a beach party, you're always like, how come there's no chicks here? It's getting old, Steve.
Yeah.
Okay. So, bartender brings him a drink, and he says that he believes that Father's the only innocent man here. That he was accused of killing his wife, but there's just no way. He's too good of a guy. Okay.
Doesn't
And
fit.
then his wife died of an overdose.
Right.
No, he killed her with an overdose.
Mm-hmm. He was a surgeon or a doctor. She was a whore. Yep. All right. So next, basically, he finds out that the insiders lied to him. They have been testing ways of escaping, and their latest system is like a stealth boat.
It's a stealth boat.
Can't be seen by radar, and it's heat shielded or some shit. Then there's guys inside. I think that there's guys inside in this
There's
test.
guys inside. It's got a cover. Just make it a submarine. You're going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I mean, he's kind of right. It's really hard to see a small wooden boat on radar.
Yeah. And I don't know what, but yeah, but this has got
Thermal everything.
Future
and
technology that's, but it gets spotted and it gets blown up and they're like, oh, dang it.
Yeah, and this is an early instance of those were computer-generated helicopters, and they did not look good. I think another problem that the average viewer has with this movie is that the visual effects, the generated stuff, is bad.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, they also blow up their viewing area. That was cute.
Yeah.
But he's like, okay, so are you going to try this again? And they're like, yeah. It almost worked this time. We're just missing, I guess we're missing a motor. That was the difference. If we'd had a motor, we would have gone faster than their detection ability. We're faster than radar.
I'm kind of going to skip ahead. We'll talk about it when we get there. When we do get there, it's right about the same time that the jet boat craze started in Australia is around this time, and that is a fucking jet boat. So
true.
You try to shoot that thing with a fucking helicopter, it can fucking turn 90-degree corner at 90 miles an hour. You're going to run out of goddamn missiles. Thing's fast.
Yeah, I bet you fucking Blackhawk, or not a Blackhawk, Apache could take one of those down pretty good, Sam.
Well, it's only one way to find out.
Okay, all right. The torch gauntlet has been thrown, United States Navy.
Well, no, I think we just have, what is it, that battle simulator? They don't have it. They might not have a jet boat, but they probably have a one of those anti-submarine boats. You could get an Apache. I'll get the little. See if you can shoot me down. I'll run. I'll be the rabbit. What the hell is that simulator called?
Are you talking about Tabs? Totally accurate.
No, it's the
simulator?
one that they run. They reenact these battles in, where they'll actually fly in the planes and see if they'll redo major air battles, but instead of the full forces, they'll be like, we're going to take on the entire German Luftwaffe in 3 F-22s, and then the only problem they have is ammunition.
Huh. I don't know what you're talking about.
DCS.
Oh, okay, DCS. Yeah. All right, we'll try it. What about that little ball thing at the front of an Apache? It's got lasers in it.
Yeah, but you have to lock onto a thing that is squirrely as
it's
hell.
Going 80 versus your bullets that are going 2,000.
Yes.
I'm taking the chopper.
All right.
Jackie, don't get in a boat with Sam. He'll kill you. Look what this thing can do.
It's got a better chance than the fucking thing that was going 6.
Yeah, that's true.
It does. Yeah, you're right about that. So he finds out that they've got a V8, and the only thing it's missing is a distributor. Which seems like the distributor is pretty much the lowest tech thing on a motor. You guys have fashioned an entire society together. You couldn't whittle a distributor out of all the other bullshit that you find. You basically just need a pipe and a couple pieces of metal.
You actually don't need a spinning distributor. You could spark differently. There would be a number of different ways that you could fashion switches to spark timing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think you guys could have got out of here already. But anyway.
It doesn't matter. He tried to cut his ropes with a distributor early in the movie, and he knows where one is.
It's true. Okay, yep. I forgot how he knew about that. That's what he used to cut the ropes. Okay.
He's like, yeah, you can't cut ropes with a distributor. Fuck this.
Yeah, it turns out. So Robin says he'll go get one if he can be on the boat, and Casey can go too. And so they're like, okay, fine. Here's a couple Molotov cocktails. Good luck. You're probably not going to make it, but whatever. But, we've got nothing to lose other than these 2 Molotovs.
Yeah. Where he's like, thanks, I'll be back in a minute because I'm a human killing machine.
This is where Merrick dumps the bag of heads out, Jackie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I liked this. We need to unite. And just in case anyone's thinking about talking to your leaders, and then he just dumps all the heads out of the bag. He's like, I killed them all because I want to be in charge. It's that simple.
When did you do that?
He said he'd been preoccupied for a while.
He went in to meet with them, and he just fucking killed all of them.
And then put their head in a bag and said,
yeah.
All right, I'll be going now to the rest of everybody that lives there.
No, they were in that room by themselves. Leaders only meeting, and he came out with a bag of heads.
Okay, hold still. All right, so first thing we're going to discuss in this meeting of leaders, just hold still. Whatever you see, just keep holding still. He chops all their heads off. It seems implausible.
He probably did some wacky, stabby, and then just did the heads in the bag for theatrics.
Oh, wacky, stabby.
I don't know. I've seen Jet Li do it a few times.
Stuart Wilson. Okay. All right. Just hold still is my theory. So Robbins, he spots Casey following him. He's like, I just want to be your friend. Take me with you. I can help. Oh, yeah, you ever killed anybody? No. All right, this is a job where we kill people.
This is really, convincing. Casey should be convinced not to follow him by this.
It's pretty convincing. But he doesn't.
I am straight up doing you a favor, kid. You're going to die if you fucking follow me.
And he does.
And he fucking does.
He's immediately captured. And he's taken.
He's almost dead when he finally steps in a trap.
Right.
He is not a wilderness man.
And then he's put in this shitty Iron Maiden thing where it's stabby on his legs, with 8 knives while he's got a glass necklace around it. Oh, don't move your head. What is this, saw? No, you're stabbing him in the fucking legs 30 times. He's bleeding out in the next 10 minutes.
I think they're wood spikes, and they're just kind of not quite puncturing yet, but really scaring the piss out of him. The idea, from what he's holding a bar, and I feel like if he lets go of the bar, he gets decapitated.
Yeah,
and so they're doing things to get him to let go of the bar without actually stabbing him.
I'm pretty sure they were knives.
Okay, well, whatever.
I think he's dead. Either way. And then, he's dead. Robbins shows up and he's like, I'll free you. So he does out of the death trap.
Don't skip over the part where he kills all the people and gets the distributor. Remember when he gets the 2 guys through the neck with 1 arrow?
Oh, yeah. That was cool.
That was good.
He doesn't
blows up Merrick's hotel room just to be a dick.
No, that was a diversion so he could get Casey out of there.
And he got to be a dick. At the same time, 2-for-1 special.
It's true.
Yep.
He's doubling down all over this scene.
But it doesn't work because he goes back down to get Casey and then everybody's immediately there and they're like, that was a dumb plan. It's 600 of us.
Yeah. Well, he had to try, right?
Yeah.
Because he was going to be in and out of there unnoticed. Had Casey not fucking showed up.
Fucked it all up. And then dies anyways. Because Merrick throws him in the pond. It's 2 men enter, 1 man leave. And Casey's like, you're going to have to kill me, so I'm going to fight you to make it look good. And then he's like, what? You jumped on the... Oh, shit. He jumped on the spear before I could come up with a better plan.
And this is sort of rare because these sequences where the guy that shouldn't go to help goes to help anyway and things do go sideways, but then they'll save him. This one, he just fucks it up and gets killed. And you're like, whoa, that sucks.
Okay. And then Robbins is put on a guillotine. He's about to get his head chopped off because, of course, Merrick wasn't going to keep his promise and let him go. The winner gets to go home. Yeah. Here's your freaking... Oh, and your new car. No.
Yeah.
You're both dead.
Well, he also says something like, and you made me look like a horse's ass, and I hate that.
So he saved at the last second by the spy because the spy tells him, he tears off his hood and is like, hey, Merrick's planning on attacking. Because it's his right-hand man, because this spy guy has got a gross face that's all burned up like he's fucking Freddy.
It may or may not be David Wenham. I just can't tell.
But the character is the same. He's the guy that got burned up before.
I'm unclear on this.
Jackie.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think it's the same guy. I think it's a different guy.
Obvious. He's all burnt up. The only other person in the movie that got burnt up had red hair. This guy's got red hair. It's the same guy.
Okay.
Just burned off his leprosy.
No.
Cleared
He
that
also
right
had a
up.
fat face.
No, that's a totally stupid theory, Justin. I'll go with he's just a rando. Come on. It's the same guy. It's his right-hand man. We've had a spy.
They didn't have a lot of
for
people
years.
that they could do FaceTime with, so it's probably the same guy. There's
Exactly.
one of the shots at the Christmas party.
Uh-huh.
The Stefano's in one of the shots, and then in the next shot he comes in the roof, and I was like, ooh. Yeah, you were just over there, buddy.
Yeah. All right, so Robbins gets away, and he goes back to the insiders, and Father's ill from getting stabbed in the chest during that battle, like right in the freaking lung. Like maybe not great, but it turns out he's not even dying from that. He's dying from something else.
Hodgkin's disease.
Yeah. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So he tells everybody Merrick's going to attack, and Hawkins is like, all right, man the ramparts and get the crossbows that don't work very good, everybody. And Father's like, no, we're going to leave. Actually, not a bad
He's
Lance
like,
Hendrickson.
They've got us outnumbered 6-1. So you guys should leave, because if they're outnumbering me 600-1, I've got a better shot at this.
Yeah, right.
He's right.
Fucking crossbows are going to get in my way, guys. Like, seriously.
Those things are so dumb. You only get one shot. Stupid.
So Father orders him to abandon the compound, and Robbins goes and starts locking and loading. He gets the gun that he stole from Merrick, and he's like, I fixed this with some baling twine and some reeds. Yet
He said at the beginning that you could fix it as long as you had sandpaper and cornflakes.
right? Like, okay, but you can't build a distributor out of like washed up pipe.
He's not a mechanic. He's a killing machine. He can fix a gun. He knows how to fix a gun to blow shit up. Doesn't know how to fix a car.
I don't know if you can fix a gun with flax, but whatever. So he's got a plan. He knows what he's doing. So Father, he comes in and he's like, yeah, I'm dying and I want you to take over. And he's like, I can't. I still want to leave. He's like, to go where? Where are you gonna go?
Where are you gonna? He's just say no. And then he goes into the place that you're not supposed to go, where they're building the boat. That's why it does pay off later. They go back in there a couple of times. He's like, are you done with the boat yet? That's what's in that building.
Boat's
is
down
the
on
boat.
the beach.
No, it is later, but it starts out that their escape plan is in that building. That's why you're not supposed to go there.
Agreed.
Why can't he know about the escape plan?
Because they don't trust him yet.
Yeah, and most people in the village don't even know that the boat exists.
What's he gonna do with that knowledge?
Steal it and escape.
Yeah.
There's no distributor.
Well, there is now, but it doesn't matter because now he's in. And then this is the thing that happens to him: is he goes on when the boat's outside and he sees the fire and he freaks out and he goes back and he talks to Father again, and he tells him that the reason why he's here is because he led a attack that was false in the wrong spot, and they just murdered a bunch of civilians. And
No, I will not shoot on the civilians with my chopper.
Government covered it up and gave him a medal, and he lost his shit and shot the guy. Tried to tell the press, but they put him in prison instead. And in a minor way, says that I used to say yes to everything, and when that happened, I've said no to everything. But all I really want is to get the story out. And he's like, we'll get all the story out. And he hands him the book, and he takes it. And at that one moment now, he's like, I'm starting to become whole as a person again. I'll never be whole, but I can at least say yes to something now. But he was saying no to everything because he said yes to murdering women and children.
They're only trying to find food. Oh, God, what happened to my Schwoz impression? You'll do as we say, John Matrix. No, I will not. Actually, his name's not John Matrix in The Running Man. I can't remember what it is. But that's the same thing as The Running Man. He's ordered fire on women and children. And then he's thrown in a futuristic jail.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking like the Running Man a whole lot more than this piece of shit. Okay, so right, so the outsiders are attacking again, and they start out with a flaming battering ram. Good call. I don't know why you just don't go through the fucking guard tower thing that you tore down, because they didn't have time to rebuild that, right? But there's nobody in the village. Oh crap, where's everybody at? Yay, we took it over. Yay, Merrick's the best. Merrick.
Yep. Very Three Amigos. Where did everybody go?
Yeah, right. Oh, they're over there. No, they are over there. That's what happens, because Robbins comes out. It's like, hey, I'm up here. And he fucking shoots the one round gun that Merrick had. It's an RPG Uzi.
It's just an RPG.
But it's
got one
tiny.
shot.
It's tiny.
It's a little RPG.
It also has
Future.
like a stock for both. I mean, this is a dumb gun.
Yeah, it is.
It looks like something that you would buy at Toys R Us for your kids that makes the little pew 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 sounds.
The art department did not knock it out of the park on this one.
But yeah, it blows up the whole goddamn village.
Because the booze guy rigged the entire village to explode with booze.
Everyone is dead, and now they're homeless.
They can rebuild.
No, they
But they don't have to worry about those dickheads anymore. They got exploded.
Oh my god. This is a big explosion.
Yeah, that's what they had enough money for. Instead of doing this whole battle plan, they're like, go over those dailies. Make sure we got everything we need, because we're going to blow this set up once and we only got the one chance at it. Get as many cameras around this as we can. Let's blow this motherfucker up.
It's not Beastmaster big, but it's pretty big.
It's big.
So, let's see here. Where are we at now? Survivors all run away. They're chased off by Hawkins' men because they were just sitting over there. And the warden's like, oh, God, thermal explosion. Let's send in the choppers. I'll go first.
Somebody's going to notice that.
I'll fly in first. Somebody's going to
He wasn't going to fly in first. They caught the king, the fat guy, being the snitch.
Uh-huh.
And they made him say, meet me here first.
Right.
And he listens to him.
Okay. All right.
He was just going to send the platoon of helicopters.
All right, whatever. Merrick's still alive, and he fights Robbins and Father, but then Father dies, and then Merrick is kicked off the tower, and he falls to his death.
He does the same thing that Kevin Dillon does. He's like, I will sacrifice my life for Ray Liotta. He's like, if I put this knife in me, you won't be able to get it out, and he's going to fucking kill you. And that's what happens.
Yeah, I guess. Either way, he's kicked off the tower, and he falls to his death.
This was fun. I was listening to the director talk about this, is that he got to Pinewood to do this sequence where everybody was like, oh yeah, you should make this gory. This needs to be big. So he lands on a pipe. It looks convincing. It's gross. Mm-hmm. He lands on a pike. And then later, this guy at Pinewood gets interviewed about how the super gory ending of No Escape, and he goes like, oh yeah, that was the director's idea. We didn't want to do that. And he's like, what the fuck, man? You talked me into it. What the fuck?
All right.
And then he goes, that's just Hollywood.
My God.
So he sees black smoke, and I guess that means that the chopper blew up the boat, or who blew up the boat?
Wait, no, the black smoke was from...
It's from the boat, right? But it seems like they're really far away, whereas before, before shots, like it was just in the back of the village, and you just took the staircase down.
So they moved the boat from the building to the beach where they have their setup escape business.
No, but Jackie's right. The beach is behind them. It's like right next to the village. Because Ray Liotta just walks down there with a fucking cane earlier in the movie. But now he's like, oh, over that mountain, black smoke. It's not in the right direction.
So, okay, back to my question. Who blew up the boat? King. Because
Yeah,
he goes
I
down
think
there
it was him.
and Dysart has a knife in his chest.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's clutching the crucifix and he pulls it out of his hand and they know it's King. They shake him down. He tells the warden that the warden has to meet him at a specific coordinate. And that's how they set up the escape.
Okay. All right. So the warden lands, and they nab him, and they take his chopper.
Yeah.
It's not very exciting, but that's what happens.
It's fun because he kicks him out like in the butt and he lands flat on his face.
Just like Robbins did.
Like, haha, you're going to get eaten.
Yeah.
And he's wearing his hot dog suit.
And he flies the chopper over the village, and everybody's like, yay, Robbins! And that's the last we see of Robbins, and then the warden and King hear the howling of the outsiders, whatever's left of them. And that's it.
Yep. They made it. What's the range on that helicopter?
32 miles. Shit.
No, it's more like 300, but so they've got some work to do to get the word out on this thing. But step one was getting off the island.
Yeah, I don't know what they do first. Like, what do we do now?
They only have X amount that they can make it in that helicopter. They're not like flying to the news station in the helicopter unless the news station is straight up 200 miles to the nearest coastal point is the news station.
Let's fly into America, the coast, and in this Russian-made helicopter, and hope that they don't shoot us out of the goddamn air.
Well, that and they loaded up with as many dudes as possible, right? It didn't seem like there was a spare seat on this helicopter.
Yeah, and
So it's like,
boozy
weight limit,
boozy guy
you know.
even got to make it. He's got booze. He's like, yeah, let's drink booze on the way. Like, no, I don't think you guys are. I think, you guys don't have a plan here.
No.
So what do you guys do
Stay there
first?
Like,
You would just stay there.
Let's
okay.
say we're in the helicopter already. Oh my god.
Water bottle down. Oh shit.
It's got a cap.
if you're
Thought
in
of that,
if
too.
you're in the chopper already,
You basically make it to the nearest land point that you know that is part of the mainland, is far away from anything that's going to shoot you down or see you, and you just ditch that thing and head out on foot.
yeah. But the only thing we know about the mainland is that it looks like Winnemucca. It's a wasteland.
I don't know. Yeah, because they fly him from the wasteland prison to the island, so
It's I think they've got sandworms and stuff. I don't think you got a plan. You didn't think this through.
no.
See, I'm flying to the nearest coastline. I'm ditching the chopper, and then I'm going to rob somebody for about $10 and go to McDonald's.
There's no more McDonald's, Jackie. It's a wasteland. They've got sandworms. You don't get it.
I hate futuristic
I
movies.
see your cute little funny joke, but the only thing we know about the mainland in this movie is that it is a deserted wasteland and you can only travel by bullet train.
Yeah, so we know that in 2022, we were supposed to have really nice public transit.
Yeah, better than what we got now, that's for sure. But it only takes you to prison, which is pretty much what our public transit does now, just less efficiently.
Oh.
It's called our jobs.
Oh my God.
I have to drive my own car to that.
Okay, all right. My first question is, yeah, but why though?
Yeah, but why what?
Yeah, all of it. Why escape? You guys have got it fucking made. Other than chicks. I get the chicks and medicine thing, but it seems like there's no chicks in the the wastelands or the mainland sucks.
He's escaping for the truth. That's what the movie says.
Okay,
You don't
the
like
truth
it, that's
is-
fine, but the movie says that.
Like, the truth. Oh, there's a prison that's on a cool rad ass island. Sign me up for prison. Hello.
No, he's like, yeah, this is bad too, but he needs to tell someone that the government iced a small town and turned it into a victory in a war that they weren't winning.
Well, he's got his story to tell, I guess.
That's he is getting off the island. They want to get off the island so that people find out about the island, and then they can go somewhere else. But he needs to report this war crime.
He tried, or he even says that I tried. Nobody listened
because he tried inside the military system, which was covering it up. Now he's going to the press.
Right. Whatever. It's stupid. Just be a whistleblower while you're in the military instead of shooting the guy. It's dumb. I don't like it. Why does the warden send him there?
Because he thinks he's too dangerous to stay in the actual prison.
You don't have like solitary or anything like that, bud? Like
they so dangerous that the second that you open the door, he might just start killing everybody. At least here, he's going to kill these people that are already dead. The only way off the island is his helicopter. He just delivered it to him. It's dumb.
It's contradictory because the warden, the very first thing we see of the warden is a floating head hologram that says, "You are condemned men. You have one chance. You don't exist anymore, but you've got to either follow my rules or death."
Yeah.
He's seen this shit before, and Ray Liotta still doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't...
I think it's more about the guy's pride. Like, I'm not going to be able to control this kid, and if he does it, what is that, insurrection, where the prisoners all rise up, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere, and we can't...
Prison riot, but...
We can't...
Plus...
Yeah, prison riot, right? But we're not going to be able to defend ourselves. They'll overrun us, and he knows it.
He's also got this fucking highly illegal island that is his personal ant farm of human death, and he's like, this guy's going to fit in great here.
Okay, which leads me to my next question.
He's really going to mix it up.
Why does the warden care about this fucking war that's happening between the outsiders and the insiders?
It's his TV.
It's his TV,
He's fucking
according
sick.
to you, Sam. But here's the fucking problem. He's got a goddamn satellite in the air to watch it. They have spent billions so that this guy could fucking jack off to fucking Lord of the Flies.
Yep.
I don't think he gets away with it. I think somebody would have been like, hey, what about this line right here that's marked jack off island for my viewing pleasure? $6 billion. That seems like a line item that seems expensive.
He hasn't spent any money on this. He
put a satellite up.
It's 200 miles away. It's the same satellite that's above him.
He commandeered the satellite. All right, boys, we're taking this one over. Suit up.
They've got the satellite for their own thing. Like, use the satellite imagery for us. I don't know. Apparently, satellites aren't that expensive in 2022. Ask Elon Musk.
I think he doesn't get to do this.
No, but he did.
Where'd you get the island, bud?
Commandeered it along with the satellite.
Suit up, boys! We're taking over an island. For what?
And they're like, "You get out of here!" And then
he
they
has
have
his
these
own small paramilitary
chasing
force.
People off.
It's stupid.
The oversight at this company is not good. It's just all of these are great arguments on why you don't privatize prisons. This is what's going to happen.
No, this is not the argument that could be made. All right, anybody else?
No.
Okay. Final recommendations. I'm going to start with me. I don't. No. I didn't like it. I think it's too dumb to be good and too boring to be fun. And I just think it's like, yeah, that's what I got. It's too dumb to be good and too boring to be fun. Jackie?
I'm not going to lie. I had to go get a cup of coffee while we were watching this so that I could stay awake. Because the pacing of it was like, it got off real hot, right? And you were super excited. I mean, he's kicking ass in prison. He's blowing away a guy. He's doing the tough guy thing. And then he gets dropped off on the island. And it's just kind of like for a whole section, I would say for a whole hour of the movie is introducing characters that you kind of really don't care about. I mean, I cared about the booze guy with the one arm because I like alcohol, but the rest of them I could give a fuck less, right? And so to me, I think that if they would have shortened it, it could have been a lot more impactful and a lot better. like as far as the pacing and the action of it all, because they set it up that he's going to be a badass and he's going to kill a bunch of people. So what I would have wanted to see, it was there, but it was so far and few between to get a plot line going that it made it really hard. And then I'm not going to lie, when we were talking about this on the podcast, there were parts that my eyes started to get kind of like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like, we had to break so I could go pee. So I was starting to fall asleep talking about it. I was just like, this is all ancillary stuff and it's not fun. And I think the potential was there, but it just missed it just barely. So it's a 4 out of 5 or a 4 out of 10. So I'm going to have to give it a don't.
Okay. Sammy.
I love this movie. Okay. I bought it. I've seen it a bunch of times now. I think it's great. I think Stuart Wilson's awesome. I think the Ray Liotta, I think that nothing works in this. I think nothing works in this. Yeah. So amazing that it becomes a whole thing of doesn't work at 11. And I just love it for that. I do agree that you could take it down to 90 minutes. And it probably would be more fun. Because if you spent time on certain characters, why didn't you spend any time on Ernie Hudson's character? Well, who is he?
None.
Why is he the security guy? You spent no time on the most interesting guy in the movie. So it missed. And that's like, again, doesn't work. It's just every fucking part of this doesn't work. But it presented mostly well. Like, it's shot pretty well. It's weird. But none of it works. And I love it.
I think also, like, we go back to missed opportunities and, like, why the Warden wants this, and it is completely dodged, and it is, like, an easy duck. You can cover my question in 2 sentences of dialogue. He wants to prove that these men have no path to redemption, and so he wants the outsiders to kill the insiders because the insiders are a bunch of cons that have made their own society and it's functioning and they have redeemed themselves, and he doesn't like that. But it's like, no, I just want to jack off in a bathroom while watching security footage of these guys killing each other. That's bullshit. You've got a slam dunk for saying like A, private prisons suck, but also B, like, everybody has a chance at forgiveness, and that's what rehabilitation is about rather than penal punishment. But they don't even get like, oh, let's get in a fight. Rah, 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 rah. Also, like, Ray Liotta, Marty Robbins, JT Robbins, he's made up to be like fucking this badass, but he's not Danton. He's not even Dalton. Like, he kind of like talks a lot of shit and then does some mediocre cool stuff.
There was almost no action in it because they couldn't afford it. I imagine he was going to go apeshit in that scene they couldn't shoot where it got replaced, where he just blew up the whole village or whatever. But again, it's just none of it works.
None of it works.
None of it works. I mean, it's like a ball that doesn't work, and I just love it.
I would say my favorite parts of the movie were definitely with Merrick.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And because he's just so... The shit that he says is just so, like, us, right? Like, welcome to Hotel Casa de Shithole, you know? Like, we've got a good staff that's catering to all your needs. And then he's, you know, like, every time he's talking to somebody, he's acting like he's part of the real world. And, like, I find that character to be really fascinating. And the fact that he ran off
fun, because those are two different words.
He's fun. He's fun.
But fascinating.
And I really liked Merrick. I thought he was cool.
Read a biography about Merrick.
But it is a thing that's never going to work with a normal audience.
No.
I think Merrick's worth the price of admission, and I think there's dumber shit in here, and that is why I like it so much.
Okay. All right, that's your podcast this week, guys. Next week it's going to be Jackie's pick. You got anything dialed up?
I've been on vacation.
Yeah. We know that Vertical Limit's sitting out there. Hey-o.
Hey-o. I'll get something going this week so that Sam isn't caught off guard. Like, I'm like, oh, well, it's Saturday night at midnight. I should text Sam a movie that I find randomly when I'm drunk.
That would be appreciated. Okay, have a great week, everybody. Get to the chopper.